we encourage these things. Now I'm your host, snkrINC. I just go by Steezus, drop the Christ. I don't think I'm holier than thou. With my boy Dano, snkrINC editor, shoe connoisseur, gold chain wearing.
Every day.
That's about all you do, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much
all
it.
I do, actually.
Pretty much it. And on the end here, we got Mr. John Colombo.
Hi, guys.
Music video director extraordinaire, consumer of goods.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the illest shade game in the game. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. How you doing, John? Also a gold chain slanger.
Yep.
Get with it, boys. I ain't got a gold chain. I got a little baby silver one though. Fucks with me. What's good, boys?
You wait a little longer, John will get you hooked up.
Yeah, I'll get you hooked up, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait. I gotta earn my keep, huh?
Yeah.
I gotta be knighted.
Yeah.
No, it was good though. How's your week been? I think we've all kind of been doing our own things this week. We haven't really got a chance to sit down and just kind of shoot the shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's good? Let's talk to John first, because you've been all over the place. We've been seeing your stories, and what's going on with you?
I got my dad in town, man. First time in 6
Shout
years.
out
Been
Papa
6
Colombo.
years. Not first time, but yeah. Dad's in the building.
There it is.
There he is. Man, we've just been bouncing around, doing my thing, man. I haven't been doing too much feeding of my sneaker addiction.
You need a break sometimes, though. You need a break.
You gotta fast.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta fast.
Sometimes you need to chill.
Yeah. Yeah, because you've been having some hot weeks, like some back-to-back pickups.
Back-to-back heat, for sure.
And some unexpected pickups.
Yeah, shout to Project Blitz and Croatian Style.
Yes, sir. Big shout out. We need you on the podcast, player.
Yes.
Come fuss with us, for real.
And I got those, I was able to swap out the mustard for the mint.
The Decon 2s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why isn't that happening right now?
Yeah, what's the
I don't
deal?
know, I feel like this, I don't know, I was excited.
The mint, you're
becoming an Air
wearing the
Max
mint
head.
North Face,
There's
dog.
a lot of work on this.
I mean, I get it, but
Air Max head.
is
Max
that what it is now?
Air
Is that what it
Max
is
head.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, you've been chilling with Pops all week, though?
Yep.
So, Dano, how about yourself?
I've been working my ass off with you all week long.
Really? Because I was here for a half day yesterday.
Right. Yeah, you've had your own issues.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Don't
I'm
don't
always,
discredit my shit,
if
man.
If you know where I am, I'm here, over there, where you can't see, sitting in a corner.
In your little cave.
Yeah, working my fingers bloody on a keyboard.
Well, you've been.
Well, just to let everybody
They
know,
look pretty soft to me.
Soft hands. Let's be
there may or may not be somebody sitting in this seat in a little while, beside me. For those that are listening.
We'll get that. We'll get to that when we get to that.
You know,
Hollywood. Nobody's on time. Now, what you been working on, Dana? You cooking up something good?
Working on a piece with Afro Kicks.
Ooh.
I'm excited to get that one out.
Shout out to Afro Kicks.
Yeah, shout out to Afro, man.
He's got
Definitely.
quite the knowledge.
Yeah. He's an ill Air Force One head. Yeah.
Also one of the more passionate people that I've encountered.
Absolutely.
I definitely come into some passionate people, but the level that he's on is like a whole other level.
No, it's legit. That's why I'm excited for everyone to see his story.
Yeah, he doesn't like sway on his opinions at all.
Right.
Either. Like
Which we need more of that,
he
man.
means that shit. Like there's no sugarcoating anything. Like
very passionate.
You know what I mean? Like he'll look at, and it's not like he's like anti-hype. You know what I mean? Because there's some people that are just like haters on shit, and he's he'll look at like the, not to like quote his shit or anything, but the Off-White collab that's coming, like, him being like so much into
Which
like,
one?
Air Force Ones and Air Force Ones, Air Maxes and Ones, like all that shit, and he's just like, they're destroying my shoe. I hate this shit.
Damn, it's dope that he's not.
The
He's
destruction
vocal
of the
about
silhouette
it.
like that.
No, he knows what he likes.
He knows what he likes, and that's the thing. And he knows, the quality that he expects from shit. And, the changes that have happened over the years that have slowly happened.
Right.
Yeah,
that kind of go unnoticed.
Yeah, being a purist like that, like he mentioned the shape on the linens, the Air Force Ones from the retro that they just released down at Art Basel and the ones that he got previously. Like, just little stuff like that most people probably wouldn't be up on game about.
Yeah, definitely newcomers don't know anything about.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Dope, man. Well, me, myself, I've had another series of unfortunate events that have popped up in my life, but it all seems to stem around this piece of crap car that I got. Man, Father's Day, I was driving down the 118 freeway, headed to West Hollywood, and my shit just started leaking. And so somebody pulled up next to me on the side, they were like, roll your window down. Your car is dumping fluid, you need to pull over ASAP. I was like, fuck. And as soon as they said that, I started to feel my power steering going out. I was like, oh my God, let me just make it over this hill, get to this exit. So I made it to the exit, fucking got a nice little like bicep and tricep workout trying to turn my car. And fucking lost all my, I guess my water pump went out, lost all the fluid, car overheated, did all that. So been without a car for the past, 4 days and just got it back yesterday. So
You need a specialist.
I need a specialist. I think we might have one in the building. Nah, so yeah, dealing with that, but I'm glad to be back in the office, man. Glad to be creating. We got a new format for sneaker headlines, which I'm actually really hyped about. It was kind of like a blessing in disguise because it gave us the time to actually, gave you guys the time, I won't take any credit for that, to hone in on another format for news and find a new way to kind of make it exciting and different. And it's something we have been talking about for a minute anyhow, so it actually worked out. Yeah.
For not having been here, I thought that was great.
Yeah, I agree,
video
man.
With the, seeing you at the end, but hearing you throughout.
Yeah, and the new graphics package. Like, yep. So yeah, man, I'm definitely stoked to be back in and just we're fine tuning it every day and just trying to find a way to make it as time efficient as possible, but also deliver, proper news with the visuals and all that. So
I think this should be the platform where we break different things that we're about to do.
Okay.
Like this,
What
when
you
we're
got?
ready to like announce shit, we should do it. We should do it through this.
Are you hinting at something? Or are you just?
Nah, I'm just thinking like in general, like we could,
You talking about Come Correct?
No, I'm not talking about Come Correct.
Oh, we got Steve in the building.
Hey.
What up?
What? Okay. To our listeners and to our viewers, we have a special guest in the building. We'll introduce him properly once he gets here and sits down. He decided to be a little Hollywood and show up later than expected.
Let's get his welcome.
You know how that goes.
Up on the screen.
No, but yeah, I'm hyped to be back in the building, man. We got a lot of stuff brewing. As we in the podcast know, the viewers and the listeners, you'll have to stay tuned to that. But I don't know, man. I'm excited. It feels like we're back to making like good content. We're making the effort to kind of like keep pushing forward and really just step outside of the box. And I think that's necessary because with us being, still somewhat in our infancy, we got to really find ways to stand out and make our presence felt. And I think we're on the,
No, it's true, man. And speaking of out of the box, I just ordered and received and installed an inflatable hot tub at my home, and it's awesome. I took it right out the box, plugged it in, inflated it. It's dope. Awesome.
That's actually, I've never seen an inflatable hot tub before.
It's sick.
Like, does it have the
Jets, the whole shit.
Yeah. It's the full.
The whole thing.
That's wild.
It's legit.
Do you have to keep the air running like the whole time? Does it have like one of those?
It has a filter, pump, the whole shit and stuff.
Dude, that's fucking.
It's all
You
the way
get the
hooked
little
up.
thing, little buoy floating around with the chemicals and all that shit.
It's the shit.
Yeah.
It's dope.
That's amazing.
It's kind of a game changer.
Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Hey! Amazon. See you later.
Yo, Amazon is
hey.
kill. Hey.
Hey,
I don't mean to
come
interrupt.
on in, come on in.
Oh no,
You
this is
brought
all
cookies.
you.
Nice.
Welcome. Sneaker Steve, how you doing, brother?
Coming in with the cookies.
Man, coming in hot
Great to see you.
with the all white,
John
looking like
Colombo.
a fresh
Oh, yes.
father or something.
You know, it's a Colombian thing. It's kind of like a baptism going on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you all to Mr. Sneaker Steve.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother? Welcome.
Amazing.
Yeah, glad to have you here, brother. How you doing?
I feel amazing. You always got to announce as a Colombian, like you can wear white all year. Like as you get to me, you guys are my friends now, so it's kind of like just got to throw it out there.
Yo, you good?
You're gonna see me in white
we
all
ain't hit
year.
Labor Day yet, so you don't even have to announce it right now.
And I'm not an 18th century woman.
No white after Labor Day, no black with brown, like, all that stuff.
Oh my God, this
Nah.
is dope, man. I love the studio.
Thank you,
Looks
man.
incredible.
I'm glad to
Happy
have
to
you
see you
here.
guys.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been a while.
Likewise.
What's been going on, man? We haven't really
I'm
chopped
having
it up.
babies. I'm just
Out here making babies. Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thank
First
you.
and foremost, how does it feel to be a new father?
Incredible, incredible. Tired, just like
imagine.
haven't got sleep in weeks. It is one of the most challenging things that I think any person has to do, and they don't really talk about it. Like how difficult it is, like what it takes to raise a newborn child, a baby. Other than that, then just busy, you know?
Yeah. It's got to be a rewarding feeling, though, like to see something that you created, and as tired as you are and as much as you're doing for it, like, that's your little dude, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, like we're making from the slides to sneakers to clothing to hats. I made almost everything. Making a baby is incredible, man.
Man.
It feels good.
That's dope.
He's
I was
such a
really-
little Steve.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a little version of you.
He really is a little Steve.
He's already got the Don C's.
Yeah,
You know,
he-
he's on the seating list.
Yo, fresh
I got
out.
to meet him. I got to meet little Grayson, and I was
Nice.
really excited when Steve asked me to be the godfather of his child. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
My wife's like, you didn't
Right,
ask
she
him.
gonna be like, wait,
you
what?
asked him without telling me.
She finds out through the podcast.
Yeah.
No joke, man. No, that's dope. How's Android Homme going? Everything going smooth over there? Yeah.
Just got off. Sorry, I'm late. Just
No
got
worries.
off a conference call with China.
Okay.
International business. So
I
you're
don't
always
know
on those
anything
different
about
time
that
zones.
actually, but
And actually, I started to post more of the difficult things. You know, I was listening to a podcast where it said, you know, people right now on social media, they're just really posting their wins.
Yep.
You know, what they're winning at. And what I'm starting to do is not just post that, because that's not reality. You know
Right.
what it takes to make something like this happen, what
Absolutely.
each of you have done to get where you're at, not only in the sneaker industry, but just in life. So I'm starting to post the hard stuff, like
Yep.
I had to be ready at 12 midnight for a 9 a.m. call with Italy. I got to be up. I got to be at this time to be on call with China because it's 9:30 a.m. their time. And be able to make sure that you're delivering on time for now 12 o'clock, get home, take care of everything, because I have another call with Italy at 9 a.m. because they're waiting for us to make sure that the deliveries are ready so you could ship.
Right.
So
Man.
excited about the international business side, and then we got big news. We're officially the newest brand at Bergdorf Goodman for Android
Wow,
Homme.
Congratulations,
Which,
man.
as,
That's nice.
a New Yorker, is an absolute, you know how that is, John. Like a dream come true.
Yeah.
And Bergdorf is one of those institutions where, I mean, me as a child growing up, I grew up poor, so for me to walk in front of Central Park, look at the horses, you know, go with my mom maybe to buy a hot dog, look at Bergdorf Goodman, it was just like the epitome of
Right.
probably like the most high-class institution in the world. You know, it's
Yep.
the highest level retail in the country. So when you look at Bergdorf Goodman, it's like that level. So
Right.
for us to be there is just an incredible cosign.
Damn, that's dope, man.
I love
Yeah.
this.
Dream come
Yeah.
true.
Every time I see Steve, there's always like another one of these amazing accomplishments. It just
Right.
like the bar keeps getting higher and higher.
You got
Where do you
to,
go
man.
from here?
Oh, it's so much more.
Where do you go from here?
You know, there's so much more.
I
You
know there is.
The big
What?
one is TV. You know, I think that's the next step for us
Yeah,
with Android
yeah.
Homme. We've been approached by a big production
Okay.
studio to start filming our show and seeing where that takes us as well. So,
So
I
what
think
is what's the like story behind it? Are you doing like just a reality of the brand or?
right now they're really looking at they're sending us interviews to really figure out what they see the next step. So we're just starting to film.
Okay.
You know, just start to get stuff, and there's always open because you never know where that goes.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
could be so many different opportunities that come and where we want to see ourselves in the brand. So
Nice,
excited about
man.
that.
Just don't let them Hollywood you, bro.
Yeah, I think they're late on that one.
Don't let
already.
them ruin you.
Yeah, I make sure to just stay grounded, and I think that's why I'm starting to post. You know, you said it myself when I was at the hospital. You're like, shit, you
Yeah,
look
you look
crazy.
like shit.
Yeah, and usually that's not someone when you're a name in the industry. You usually don't post that stuff. And we talked about it. I had to be conscious to be like, fuck, I look really crazy right now, but I'm still gonna
that's-
post it.
That's your reality.
That's exactly.
yeah.
I'm
Like
guilty of it. I've only posted like the best things that are happening in my life. Really, the best shot. Yeah, just like
Yeah, the
you
best
know.
angle.
Yeah.
Man, I've said this before, time and time again, especially when I'm in like conversation with people that look to other people's social media as like the bar or what they need to do. I'm like, that's not real life, man. You're judging, you're comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. And like, how is that really like on the real though?
It's
like,
true.
how
Say it again.
You compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And it's just like, you can't do that. That's not real. This is a curated story of their life, and they're projecting what they want other people to see. And it's very rare that you see someone's reality as to what you were saying in the hospital, looking while going through what you were going through. But like, it's very important for the youth and even our peers to see like everybody goes through their own turmoil. It might not be the same way that you are, the same situation, but everybody is trying to do something and trying to be something or be somebody, and we're all going through these pitfalls, these ups and downs, and people need to see more of that. You know,
they relate to it. It's
yeah,
just like
it makes you
working.
very relatable.
Like that podcast you were on not for too long ago.
Yeah, because
Mama, we made
Right,
it.
Mama, we made it. Yeah.
They want people want to hear those stories. And
Yeah, and it's
what you
it's-
went through to be where you are.
Yeah, and Steve, you
Absolutely.
did Mama, We Made It as well. And it's just like that. They brought a really good vibe to where I could open up to a point where, because I do just project all the dope shit that's happening and the things that I'm excited about. And I don't, but that's not to say that there are all kinds of shit in my life that is fucked up and weird and
Right.
not the things
As
that
we
I wanna
all
show
do.
everyone.
Yeah.
As
exactly.
we
Yeah.
all do. That's
And
that's
it's
the
real,
human
like that's
side of
really
us.
there, I just don't want somebody to recommend that I be institutionalized because they saw what I really like.
Let them think that you still out here winning, player. Now on some business, insides, because you being someone from the industry, within the industry, having your own brand. This week, Nike actually announced their partnership with Amazon.
I heard it.
That they were going to start directly selling products on Amazon to eliminate the fakes, or try their best to eliminate as many fakes that were being posted on Amazon. What do you think about that? Do you think that's actually going to be beneficial to the brand, or
Definitely.
Yeah.
We just I read in actually one of my designers told me that they're also laying off 1,400 people
that was a big
top
story
of
as
that,
well,
yeah.
right?
1,400 or
Yeah, 2% of their staff.
because they're going to go more direct to consumer. So
Mm-hmm.
just point blank, the whole world is going towards direct to consumer, vertical operations, vertical business. Nike's a beast. They have,
Right.
they're a public company, so they have stockholders that they have to report to.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the profit margin, the more that they can make a shoe for $10 to $30 and sell it for $150 to $200, I'm in.
Right.
If I'm a stockholder, do whatever you can. And Amazon being such an incredible platform, no brainer.
Right.
No matter whatever anybody ever says, there's gonna be kickback and all this hoopla. Yeah, plug. Yeah.
thanks. It will be on Amazon.
It will be on Amazon. Yeah, that's it, man.
Do you think that it's actually going to eliminate the fakes?
No.
But that's
And Nike knows they can't.
right.
Yeah, and Louis Vuitton knows that they can't.
Right.
That is a monster. I've also lived in China, so you understand when you look at the factory life and China life, and that just side of the business is just, they've all known that you could contain it, maybe.
Right.
You can't control
There's
it.
no way you can control that.
Yeah.
And we briefly touched on this before. The secondary market almost fuels their brand as a whole, because that makes their brand that much more excitable and make people want to attain it even more. So it's like, if you really get rid of the fakes and make the things that maybe people shun but still attached to the brand, that's almost going to hurt them as well.
It's still flattery.
Yeah,
You're remaking my shit. You're putting a swoosh on it for a reason.
Exactly.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm just throwing those ideas out there. Now, Amazon is just a beast now. I mean, they went from selling books to just everything. Like, we're gonna be able to order the next Nike drop from Alexa. Like, Alexa, give me them Vapor Max joints in
I hope
size
it's through
14.
Prime too. Like
Yeah,
next
free
day.
shipping.
Yeah,
Amazon Prime 2-day
I'm
shipping.
down for
There's
that.
I didn't get to read the story, but in regards to this authentication, there was like, what is it? Some sort of third party or someone they were bringing into, like, who's authenticating? Is it just they're just killing anything that isn't coming directly from Nike? As far as how are they
Oh,
Like
would they-
not
would-
allowing
would-
anyone to sell shoes.
like, yeah, what are they doing to like stop?
See, that-
They're just
I don't
killing
know.
Everything
Yeah.
that's not from Nike.
Because the way
Direct?
it is with Amazon, because we can sell, like, for example, we were having a meeting. Another big thing we're talking about is opening up our first stores in Dubai. So we have a group from Dubai that's coming to us. While they're doing their due diligence on us, they're vetting us, and they're like, they send us a JPEG. They're like, well, why do you sell at Walmart? We're like, what?
Walmart.com is.
They're like, yeah, here, Android Homme at Walmart. So there's some kind of search aggregation sites where you can Google Walmart. I don't know if you guys have seen like the Walmart's like Yeezy, popping up.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all through aggregation stuff.
Yep.
It's all through the internet where you go and it'll say it's going through that search engine, but it's not through them.
Right.
And people are like, what the fuck? What's going on? But that's what it was. So we just had to like just made that real quick.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
like, just like Yeezy doesn't sell at Walmart, Android Homme, so we sent them the JPEGs of the Yeezys at Walmart for $1,500. We're like, no, they don't sell them. But to answer the question, what they do is basically they might stop that. So they
Okay.
might stop that option where you can't just be anybody, and when you're searching on Amazon, go through
Right.
and that which
Third party shit.
exactly the third party, which allows people to have fakes and just put it up there, kind of like eBay. Anybody could put stuff up there. You don't know if it's real or not.
Right.
With
You just
Amazon
don't
being
know
such a
trust.
real source, and if Nike's going to control it, Nike might be like, you can only buy from Nike.
Dead all the Nikes that are coming from these other accounts and make sure
If
they're
that
only coming
happens-
directly from the factory.
The amount of money that Nike's going to make
That's
is
gonna be
just
insane.
insane. Yeah, and that's where it's going. Like, I'm excited. Amazon is also starting. They're already starting their own supermarkets where you go inside.
They bought Whole Foods, yeah.
They bought Whole Foods,
Yep.
and what they're doing is you walk in and you don't have to pay. So you walk in, you go
This is
through.
my kind of store.
Yeah. So you walk in and you basically it already reads. So once you walk through, they're already actually right now in beta. So only employees of Amazon can shop at them. You walk in, it reads that you have a special app, right?
Right.
So they know that you're in
Right.
the store. And then it starts to register. So you're like, okay, I bought oranges and I bought Tapatio hot sauce and I bought brown organic eggs. It starts to remember what you buy. So it's actually smart. It's a smart store. And then all of a sudden, as you go, it can actually start to create like your shopping list. And when you check out, it just goes directly, kind of like how Apple Pay is. Like
Apple
you touch,
Pay,
you don't have to
yeah.
even do that. It just, that's it. It already
It's
registered
already
that those
connected
goods
to-
are out of the store with you, and then you go out. And
Yo,
like that's
the future
Sounds
is
like some Big Brother
crazy,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is
Like,
some.
they know-
I like to
this
know
is
more
Now
some-
they know
Though.
everything that I have.
This is
What
how
about
we.
if I put
Yeah,
What about I put some cookies in your pocket?
Yeah.
You're like, I didn't take no cookies. I think
This
that's
some
so
Black
much.
Mirror shit. Like
Yeah.
you have an account, but you just you go do your thing and it just pulls from your account. You don't
What
ever
about if I
have to
took your
like.
phone?
Oh man,
Went on a shopping spree.
that's gonna be yo. That's gonna be wild,
And that's how you don't have to pay.
man. It's
That's
gonna
all
be.
I've been trying to figure out this whole time.
That's how I'm sitting there. I'm just like, how can I scheme this?
Forget the mastermind technology. How can I scheme this?
Yo, can I take a photo with your phone really quick?
Right, yeah. No, I just need to run to the cooler real quick. I gotta get some ice. Like, let me.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends pissed off
Oh
when they see
man,
their account.
that's wild.
You bought condoms.
For what? We ain't used the condom in 2 years. Oh man, no, that's dope though. It's technology, man. It's like it's a gift and a curse. Like it's a beautiful thing, but when you really think about what it can turn into, and how much we will be relying on those things, and if something just goes down, we won't know what to do. Like it's not the same as the old days where you had to have skills, just you didn't have access to a lot
Dude,
of
I
things.
lift everywhere.
Right,
If
exactly.
my phone goes down, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
done.
you're
I'm
stranded.
You
Yeah,
know what
you're
I mean?
walking.
That's what I got. It's like that.
That's wild, man. Like if you gave me one of those old those road maps back in the day where you had to like figure out your quadrants and your
Yep.
destinations and all that, I'd be like,
I tried that one time. It was like an old map.
Uh-huh.
The map was from 1983, and I was going camping somewhere. And anyway, it came with like some instructions on how to go. It was like the first left. We see this, tree with the thing on it, and make a right, whatever, something like that. But
You
what
had
it gave
some
me was like make the
handwritten
first
notes.
left and the second right. There was, in those 20-something years, there had been a lot more roads built. So the first right and then the
Exactly,
second
right.
left, it was all bad. Like that. Like that's some old world shit. Like
Yep.
a map and instructions. Remember MapQuest?
yep. You had to
Yeah,
print
you had to print it out.
Print it
Yeah.
out before you left.
Dude, yeah, I'll never forget the day I had an iPhone with Google Maps on it. You're like, dude, everything changes. I was a PA
everything.
at the time, making runs, changed my life. Maybe you could feel comfortably leaving anywhere, not knowing where you were going. You know what I mean? You're like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, I got it.
That's when I moved to California, and that was my saving grace. Like, because back then they were still partnered with Google, so you could get the Google Street View, and you could look for the landmarks. Like, okay, this is where I'm at. Because moving out here, just without an iPhone or without any type of like digital GPS, that would have been a nightmare, man. I would have gone back to Kansas City, packed up my bags, like I can't do this.
So tell me more about the Kickback. I'm excited to be here. Studio looks sick.
Good,
Thank
man.
you.
We're glad. Like, hey,
Yeah, we like
first
doing
of all,
this.
we are very thankful that you said that because this is like our favorite time of the week where we get to
Okay.
really just like kick back, talk sneakers, talk with the homies. It's just, it was an idea that we had in Danny's Bay one day. Well, not one day. It's just something that we do continuously. We sit, we talk sneakers.
Every morning.
Sneakers
Talk
and-
shit.
Yeah,
Every morning.
Seriously, we talk shit. We look at what's going on the blogs, and we really just kind of have a little powwow. And it's happening in that small little confined area. And we're like, man, what if it was, we could expand this and make it to where people could be a fly on the wall to our conversations that we're already having anyway.
Yeah.
And then, as we just kind of started spitballing and steamrolling, the ideas got bigger and bigger. And now, we got our own little set. We're episode number 3.
All right,
So we're
there
very
you go.
thankful to have you here because we are still very small, still just trying to figure it out, but it's a very intimate setting, just kicking back in the living room, having beers, cookies, water, whatever it is.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you need anything, you good?
I would love water.
I
if
got you
possible.
right there.
That's actually you.
okay, there
We
you
take
go.
care of our guests
There
here
you
at the
go.
Kickback.
Yeah, with a smile.
snkrINC cups, We got the slides, the marble slides in the display
Looking
case,
amazing, by the way.
You know, we had to
man.
get those.
Oh yeah.
Your first post on them, I was like, I need these.
Yeah.
That was a conversation that we had in there. He was like,
Yeah.
can I get
Those-
these like
and I'm not even
before they
a
drop?
slide slippers kind of person at all.
They look amazing.
This is the second pair I bought in a year.
Oh,
I'm changing.
Yeah, go ahead and get that,
I'm changing.
Yeah, make sure you
Yeah.
show love.
yeah.
Android Homme, baby.
Yeah. Ouch.
Oh, man. So I was trying to figure it out earlier, actually, because we were talking about this. These were hand painted, correct?
Yeah. So actually, what the process is, and I can't give away too much.
Okay.
You know.
Rightfully so.
No, that's cool. It's just,
while
it's
the
just
cameras
the
are rolling.
guys chilling.
Yeah, it's just it's just the internet watching. The process is really cool. The process, the way it happens is, and I'll give you guys kind of like the way that when me and Javier are creating product, or we're in Italy, kind of we have our own kickback, which is kind of cool. Is we just talk about like, all right, what can we do that's iller than anything that's out there right now?
Yep.
And what would really excite us? We love 3M reflector. We just like saying 3M reflective. Like, it doesn't even mean I'm just happy when I say 3M reflective.
It's on a lot of your shoes.
Yeah, it's on a lot of our shoes, right? So for us, we were just like, okay, what about if it was like 3M reflective? What about if we could do like marble dipped? And once it starts to sound, it's kind of like if like Ghostface or Raekwon started to rap like 3M reflective marble dip. And when you start to like, when the shit starts to sound crazy, like you're like, yeah,
Let's get it.
let's get it, and we did it. So we added marble dip slides plus gloss. So if you see the glossy effect
Oh, yeah.
to it,
Right,
even
yeah,
if
yeah.
you look at a lot of the Givenchy, Valentino, Gucci, Chanel, you don't see the glossed effect.
Right.
So Android Homme is really based on modernism. So we're always looking at like the modern side is the tech, which is the 3M reflective. We don't use just typical gray, so it's white 3M. So it's unexpected.
Yeah.
So sick.
yeah.
You'd be like, what?
Yeah, they were talking about that earlier. I was like, is it really 3M? He was like, yeah, we took a photo earlier. It's full 3M
It's
on the
full,
strap.
incredible.
That's
I mean, it's
dope.
Italian 3M. You couldn't even tell. The finish is amazing. The cool thing is that when you take a picture, everyone knows 3M
Yeah.
reflective,
Yeah.
it lights up. What you don't know is that when you step into the sun, you start to ultralight beam. So literally, like if you're in so when you go into the sun, all of a sudden, just like ultra white comes out, and you're like, oh shit, wow, and
Dope, man.
and it's pretty incredible. So we just when me and Javier are just kicking back talking about product, when we're in our kitchen cooking it up in Italy, we're just like, what can we do? And we throw everything at it. And this is where we came up with the the marble slides.
So sick.
That's incredible, man.
I've already planned another trip to Palm Springs just to wear them.
Just to run up.
We
Like,
give-
no
do
lie,
them
we was in
justice.
there.
He's like,
He
yeah,
was
he's like,
justice.
yeah.
He was trying to figure out how he could get. He was like, all right, I can go to the factory. I can lift down there. Can I just put them in a lift and send them back?
Oh yeah,
Like,
last week he was trying to get me hooked
Yeah, I
up
was
with
trying
the
to connect those
treatment.
dots hard.
Yeah.
Steve was being real open to the whole situation.
Yeah, I appreciate that, by the way.
Man,
Yeah.
nothing but love, man.
Yeah.
If people support us, I want to do everything I
He's gonna give you
can.
the DJ Khaled treatment.
Yeah.
For real, huh? How dope is it to have your own brand and have the ideas come to life? Because as kids, you know, I'm sure it happened to all of us. We all dreamed of having our own shoe or just like sketching, you know, our own
Like
take
last
on
night
Jordans
this
or
morning?
whatever.
Or last week? Yeah.
Like what is the feeling of being able to literally, like you said, kick back in the kitchen with your partner, throw out these crazy ideas, and then actually make it happen?
Incredible. It's absolutely incredible, because you're creating from scratch. You're creating from zero. You know, it's a concept, an idea in your brain, and then it becomes reality. And what is really cool, which I could probably attest to a lot of you, you know, you guys being in TV and in music and in entertainment and in fashion, when you do it at this level, it's different, you know. So it's like we're a cook in the kitchen with the best ingredients in the world. So the product, the end result, that plate when it comes out is just steaming hot, you know, and it's delicious. So that's the way that we look at product. That's the way that we look at when we make product in Europe now. So we're actually even happier now, because we were doing the same process when I was in China, when our factories were in Asia. It wasn't the same. You know, so you know, back then we had more soy sauce in our shoes and more like, you know, we had MSG, and it was just not. It wasn't the Italian ragu that it is now. You know what I mean?
There
Like,
you go.
You're even prouder of your product.
Oh my God, yeah.
Everything's mozzarella and truffles.
Mozzarella. Hey.
Did you ever really think that it would get to where it is now, to be in all the doors that you are? Because you know, you can have big dreams and hope that one day your brand will be as well respected as, you know, some of the elites. But when you started this, did you really see it going this far and becoming what it's become?
You know, truth be told, we thought it was gonna be bigger.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
it ain't over.
It's not, and that's the way that it. What I've learned through meeting some of the most successful people in the world is that it's the way it should be. You should always be up. You shouldn't be made it.
Right.
Because once no matter how high you are, once you're made it, the only way is down. So you should always be in this like incline escalation up. So when we looked at the brand, you know, we're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in terms of business and companies. So we're just, the way that we look at it, it's like we haven't even started yet.
Right.
And at the same time, stay in the present and be grateful. You know, that I could share news with you guys, like being in Bergdorf Goodman or Saks Fifth Avenue or Harvey Nichols. You know, talking about opening up stores in Dubai, and you know, all these things that are happening to us is just incredible. Or making product in the best factories in the world. Huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Especially as an independent brand. You know, when we're competing against Givenchy, Versace, Fendi, Dior, Margiela, Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, Gucci. When you have to decide,
I don't know any of those things.
And who are they?
and when you have to decide that you're gonna put money into Android Homme, that's what makes us proud.
Yep.
You know, when you're LeBron
Absolutely.
James and you choose to wear Android Homme, when you can wear anything in the world, that's when we're like, wow.
That's dope you said that, because that's actually leading into my next question. When was the first like big cosign that you got where you were like, man, people are really fucking with the brand?
I think it was
Other than Mr. John Colombo.
Well, that was like the biggest moment in our life. That's different. The cosign is that's levels.
I do what I can.
You know, that I would say the first big ones were three. You know, it was Usher, us designing the whole OMG tour for Usher, and beating out some of the biggest companies in the world to do so. So for us as an independent to design Usher's full tour, head to toe in Android Homme, seeing the dancers, you know, going to Shanghai, going to Macau, going to Staples Center, seeing them across the world. That was like massive global platform. And then also, you know, Justin Bieber on New Year's Eve signing the Adidas contract. All his dancers got on Adidas, and he's wearing Android Homme on Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve. Like,
What?
you know, so it's just, we've had a lot of those moments, you know, definitely when we did the shoot with GE and having Buzz Aldrin, you know, taking over
Those are
GE
crazy.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
those
that's
are crazy.
wild, man.
Yeah, those are the type of moments in your life where you're like, wow. You know, LeBron James winning the MVP championship, celebrating every single newspaper, and he's wearing Android Homme. I mean, we woke up the next day that literally like my phone was crazy.
I can only
Newspapers,
imagine.
Hotwire, like they were just like.
Did you sign him?
Yeah.
We got him.
You know, and
Is it a lifetime deal?
those are those type of experiences, man. Like you just gotta stay humble and stay
Yeah,
you know,
of
really
course.
just stay grateful, because it could be, you know, it could be taken away from you. You know,
Any second.
there's a lot of people out there kicking back right now, talking like, damn, I want to make my sneakers. I
Yeah,
want to make them.
Right, yeah.
So you always got to stay hungry and really know that your spot is not granted,
Yeah,
especially in the
for
sneaker
sure.
world. You know, people are passionate about sneakers.
Absolutely, absolutely, and very opinionated, and you know, a lot of times shun the newcomers or the little guy, and don't want to open the lane. Yeah, don't really want to. Yeah, it's just, it's sad, but it's dope to see things like this kind of come up, you know, and
Thank
a
you.
diamond in the rough, because this could just be, you know, a Walmart brand or something, you know, and
Yeah.
no disrespect to anybody that's in Walmart making you money, do what you do,
Yeah.
but this is an elite brand, you know, like when people wear Android Homme there, it's a statement, you know.
Yeah.
What have been some of the setbacks that you've had in the progression of the brand, and, you know, just seeing Usher wearing it and Bieber wearing it, but then maybe on the back end, like production's not right and things are coming out funky. Like, what's some of those stories?
I think that's it. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Production. You
Yep.
know, sometimes production not being right. You know, us, when we started the company, we're producing our shoes in China and Asia, and just seeing just terrible products sometimes come back.
Yeah.
Where we're like, damn, we've worked so hard. We've done everything we've done. We've sacrificed. I moved to Asia, to China, and then the shoes come back shitty. And your customers, and you let them down, you know. And then also, I think one of the biggest setbacks also is that not knowing how big this can get.
Right.
Because when we launched our Diffusion collection, we started to sell to some of the biggest stores in the world. And then what you see really quickly is like, you're competing with Nike and
Right.
Adi, and like,
Yeah.
they're not having it.
Yep.
Like, they're not trying to give you shelf space. So they're giving everything to these retailers, dollars, marketing, and we can't compete at that level as an
Right.
independent.
Right.
You know, so I think you just learn from those experiences. And even now, like I just mentioned, those 15, 20 incredible, you know, huge institutions, which are these brands, these luxury brands, we're competing against them.
Exactly.
And their marketing dollars and their power, their global stature.
Yeah.
So we're crazy. We're crazy to think that we can make sneakers and compete at this level.
You got to be a little crazy.
I think
though,
you
to,
do.
like,
You really, really do.
Yeah, you got to have that it's almost like a disability, you know, where you like on some real shit though, like you have to believe, you have to be so delusional to believe that it can work, that it actually does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen by chance. It's hard work, dedication, delusion, a little bit of ego. Like you really have to grind
It's
to,
definitely a cocktail.
you know.
Like,
Yeah,
all those things.
yeah, exactly.
You know, mix in some perseverance and
Yep.
all that shit, so you can really try and conquer. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. You do have to be a little crazy.
You do. I mean, Renzo Russo, founder of Diesel, his whole campaign years ago was "Be Stupid." You know, imagine you're like, I'm gonna start a denim company. I'm called Diesel. Like I've got gasoline. Like, you know, like why? You know,
Right.
Why?
Yeah,
what
why
are
is
you
it diesel?
doing?
You know, you gotta be. These people that make it, a lot of them are just been, you know, stupid. They're just, like you said, you just gotta be. You gotta be a little
Yeah,
off.
A little off. Yeah, yeah.
I think all of us as entrepreneurs and people in the industry, we're a little off.
Yeah.
We're not just, you know, we'll take chances, and it depends on your DNA. What chances and what level, what's your threshold for either pain or excitement or
Right.
adrenaline?
Yep.
And like I saw something on Netflix was really cool. It's like one of like the most amazing surfers in the world, and his threshold when he was a baby, there's a part of it when he's being born that doesn't allow him to feel that fear. So he can go and take a 30, 40, 50, 60-foot wave, or he can want to skydive because he doesn't have this one thing that triggers that
Right.
stops you to be like, holy shit, you're fucking stupid, stop.
Yeah, you might die.
You might die.
You might
literally
die.
might die.
You just don't even
Yeah.
hear that. That voice is mute in his head.
And it's DNA.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's all DNA. It's all within you.
I like that voice. I'm gonna throw that out there. I'm here because of that voice.
That voice doesn't allow me to do the crazy things that in
Yeah.
the back of my mind I think I can do.
Yes.
Nah, have you guys done, I know you say you're independent, you don't have the marketing dollars to throw at some of these, as some of these other brands do. What has been your play on that? Because you do have these big people wearing your shoe. Is that an organic relationship, or are you doing some type of brand ambassador deals, or how does it go?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I mean, totally organic.
Wow.
It's all relationships, and really, it's an affinity of the product.
Yes.
Because if you don't give them money, why would and they don't like it, they're not gonna wear it. So it's like some people will take the check and be like, okay, I'll post it, I'll wear it, but give me the check. We don't have a check to give, so they literally have to like it naturally.
I got a question. This is probably something you don't even want to answer.
Great stuff.
I might be wrong with this, but I feel like I remember, because French wears Android quite a bit.
Yep.
And I feel like I saw, did he sign a deal with John Buscemi?
No.
And it was like the first Buscemi endorsed something.
Not that I know of.
Okay, because I remember reading something about that, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't Buscemi, it was somebody else. Maybe Jack can help look it up. But it was funny because I remember like seeing that, and then it was like the very same day, and then the following days I'm seeing him in Android, and I was like, this is an interesting deal. You know what I mean? And that's and that's no shade to anybody else, not to French or to John.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like wondering, like, even still, like I was looking at it like, damn, this is still like a testament to the brand, and I think John Buscemi makes amazing shoes.
For sure.
It's not that at
absolutely.
all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, for Steve and Hav and Android to like continue to push forward and just get the love, like, you know.
Dude, he's wearing those Chelsea boots everywhere. The gradient ones?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw them everywhere in those things.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy because French is interesting because my friend, my best man at my wedding shot a lot of like their social media, a lot of their videos, and I then connected to his camp, and they'll put me on FaceTime with French in the craziest moments. So it's like I'm at the supermarket, of course, like I'm at, and they're like blowing me up, FaceTime, and you know how FaceTime sounds, it sounds different. Like, and I'm like, you gotta get on right now. And I'm like, I'm fucking at the supermarket, like with my backdrop, with like beans behind me. Like, that's how I'm talking to French. He's like, I'm in the studio with Chris Brown, and they keep blowing me up, and they're like, basically, it's like when he wants to get on the phone, you got to take advantage of that.
Everything.
You got to take advantage of that time because you never know when you can get on again. But their camp has been amazing. Him, his brother, his little brother, all have reached out to me specifically to say thank you, to say I appreciate you, to be like, yo, I've gotten so many compliments. They're like, yo, real talk, man. Like, I'm getting compliments like crazy for your shoes. Thank you. And I was like, wow. You know, that's gentleman shit. You know, and I'm like, they don't have to do that.
Most people don't do that.
Most people don't do that.
Yeah.
And they get their money.
Right.
So whatever is being flown their way, they got swarms of lawyers that are ready to do contracts and deals, you know?
Yep.
They're coming out of Diddy's camp, so they know how to get their money.
Take that.
For them for them to be able to like, don't stop. Right? Like for them to be, you know, still so humble and genuine, and I think that's a sneakerhead. Sneakerheads will do that. Because a sneakerhead, they could be like, yo, no doubt, man, these shits are dope. Thank you.
That's the connection what brought you together.
Like,
no matter what
like
levels you're on.
If they weren't sneakerheads, like if they were just dudes that are like, you know, there's some rappers that they don't know fashion, they don't know style, like they're not real sneakerheads. Yeah. They'll just wear whatever else works.
They pay somebody to kind of like get that for them.
But if you're a sneakerhead, you kind of like no matter what, you know, like with Swizz would hit us up, and he'd be like, yo, I need them shit, yo, them shit is crazy. I need them Runyons. And Hoppe would be like, yo, Steve, Swizz is here. He sent him and Alicia, you know, send him to the crib. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he'll hit up Hoppe and be like, yo, fuck that. I hit up Ronnie. I bought him at the store. And I'm like, dude, you know you're getting him for free. Like, he's like, can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, I love that shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's same shit happened to me,
this
man.
Morning.
Actually, with this shoe I'm wearing right now, I hopped on Nike at 7 a.m., copped them on Nike on the sneakers app, and I was looking on Finish Line. I was like, well, shit, they might have my size in store. Let me go ahead and swoop by before I go to work, and copped them when I was in the store, canceled my order. So I understand, like, when you gotta have it, you gotta have it now. Exactly, like, and that's something for me too from my youth. Like, I enjoyed the hunt. You know, like, it's cool to be able to get on an app and just get them right now and wait a few days and they'll be at the doorstep. but I enjoy.
Kind of like you wanted to slide. You were trying to figure out the
And
whole.
you're trying to
I
finagle the
I
whole.
for that.
needed them
Yeah.
for the weekend. I
Like
was
that's
I
just
need
something
these.
that's, and back to the DNA, like it's ingrained in our DNA as being lovers of footwear, not even just sneakers, because the slides, like you want to find a way to get your fix right now.
It's a lover of something as well.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
you just
yeah,
look at
it.
you
I
just
mean,
want
the
it.
ego.
Yeah,
there's
you
an
just want it a
element
little
to it,
bit.
I mean,
you
that's
got-
part of every sneakerhead.
Absolutely.
You don't have 1,000 pair of sneakers because you don't want the attention.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
no, I just really like them.
Like, no, this is
And
just
I'm not-
my hobby.
I don't
It's
consider
just-
myself like an attention whore or anything, but that is the only thing. That
Yeah.
I wear all black most of the time.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I do to get attention.
I've
is my
legitimately
footwear.
like had old ladies compliment me on my shoes and be like, "Ma'am, you don't understand. That is the best compliment you could ever give me." You know what I mean? Like, it gives you this feeling of like, thank you for. I appreciate that you appreciate my footwear. You know what I mean? Like, and it goes back to as when you getting your hair cut and you get in a lineup and you get your car washed. We touched on this before. Like that whole like feeling of people appreciating and acknowledging that, like, man, it's like a girl when she got her face beat and she got her hair pressed and like got her nails done. Like it makes you feel like something.
We call it jewelry for your feet.
Yep.
That's what we call Android Homes.
Yep.
We're like, Androids, you got an Android, you already got jewelry for your feet.
Absolutely.
And that's how you feel. And when we design that. You can be wearing all black, but you got those on, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you once said, like you can see them from afar.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you can see it from afar, like those are really fucking nice. I can tell.
Yeah, and they're expensive.
And
Like
they gotta be
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no, those are special.
What's
Those are
some of the
different.
process that goes into, because we touched on, just you in the kitchen cooking those up, but as far as some of your like sneakers go, they're very abstract and they don't really fit into the normal mold of what you would see. What is the thought process behind a lot of them? Because like the ones you have now with the lace system and the different materials, how does that even come to mind?
I think, where it starts is when we look at designs, the first basis of all the shoes really comes from Javier.
Okay.
So Javier is the creative director and the founder of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So and he's the designer. He's designed all the shoes that come out of Android Homme. So really it's him thinking about what does he believe that he likes. And because I think the cool story about Javier is that he's not a designer. He didn't grow up as a designer. He started designing shoes when he was 35.
Wow.
So for like all the young kids watching this, or young people right now thinking like, oh wow, maybe I need to have like a career path, or maybe designers design shoes. No, he didn't come from that background.
Wow.
So he was an athlete and he worked with big companies more on the marketing and entertainment side, not on design.
Okay.
So this came in after, halfway through his life. And when you start to design and you have a perspective, which I always love, is like when people don't know what to do, that's sometimes the most raw perspectives, because he doesn't know what to do or
Right.
not to do. It's just
Yeah.
He's not starting with the same norms. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Totally.
exactly.
Fresh
so
eyes.
that's where, to answer your question, that's where the designs come from. They come
Okay.
from his head, which is just whatever he's
I
feeling.
just want to do this.
Yeah.
Is
Like,
there a level of like trying to predict the future and predict the trends and things like that, or do you because obviously you don't want to go into production on something that you think potentially could flop, so it's like, and it's not just this. A lot of people will make music and they'll be like, oh, I don't pay attention to anybody else's music or what's happening out there because I don't want it to influence me.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like really putting all this money into production on something, like you want to kind of feel like you're trying to forecast what's going to be hot in a year from now, from design from concept to completion. So when it comes to that, I'm sure that there's a level of like trying to predict that. It's not just like, we're going to make this shit and, they're going to eat it up. Or we're going to make this shit and I don't care if they like it or not. Like you want the fucking things to sell, correct? Like
Yeah, no, definitely.
I know that takes away, that's, beyond the storytelling aspect of like the shoe and what it means and all that. But at the end of the day, from like,
It's a business.
it's a business.
Yep.
Yeah, and usually the process that is in the merchandising side. So that's where I come in. So when I was at DC Shoes, really got to learn that at a really, really high level in a company that was over $500 million. So when you look at that level of business and product, it's very different.
Right.
It's really about products, segments, final distribution channels for them, price points, materials, colors, deliveries, seasons, and that's the way that we work in Android Homme. So we don't make things by mistake.
Right.
Even when it's the item that says, well, we don't make whatever the fuck we want and we don't care, that's not a mistake.
Yeah.
We know that that's 10% of the line, which is just, I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Like if you don't like it, you don't like it, but we like it.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
the portion that's for you. Like 90% of the brand is for the consumer because you have to make something that they'll want to buy. Yeah. But you still got that little 10%
you can pay
of
for
like,
your fun.
Yeah.
Which is our Chelsea boots.
Right.
You know, we're a
right.
sneaker brand, but we're making Chelsea boots. We're making tactical boots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're making slides. We're not just a sneaker brand. We're not just held to that. We make apparel. So I think a portion of it is that you got to be able to just do whatever you want to do too.
Yeah.
Not just fit into like the business model. Like, oh, this is what my customers are gonna want. And
right.
They want black, so I'm gonna make only black.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna push anything forward doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and usually it's so cool. 'Cause like, why would you do ripped denim unless you're part of the culture?
Because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like I wear ripped jeans, right?
Yeah.
But to somebody, you're like, what the fuck? You're gonna sell me sneakers that are already ripped? We're like, yeah, and it's actually done in Spain, and they're done by hand. And,
Yeah.
No big deal.
No two shoes are alike. You know, it's just a lot of craftsmanship goes into this. That's why.
yeah.
No, that's dope, man. What was the?
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Jack,
continue.
I don't know if you heard me before or pulled this up, but I did pull it up.
Okay.
And that was a real thing that happened to
The
Buscemi.
French,
It was like a big announcement that French did some $2 million deal with Buscemi
Okay.
in like June of last year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this time last year, he announced some sort of deal
With Buscemi.
with Buscemi, and then nothing. I heard nothing about it after that. But like
Damn.
right following that, I was just seeing nothing but French in Android. So I'm just like, this was kind of, and not to say that not everyone has an exclusive deal, but it was like,
Right,
you would feel
yeah.
like if you just were like, bam, we taking over, this is the new deal, it's
Yeah.
French Montana and John Buscemi, da da da, and then like, you wouldn't be like, you would be in Buscemi's if you were yelling that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just typically that's kind of how that goes, it's like you're
Yeah.
repping the shit that you're
Yeah.
you're
I mean, but
spitting,
you can't always
know?
believe the internet, because there was another deal. That,
Well, it came straight from him.
Instagram post.
It was like a Twitter and an Instagram
Can we,
post
Jack? Can we get a
from him.
can we get a Jack
who?
check on that?
From French.
from French saying, I got $2 million.
Turn my mic down.
Let's pull it up.
Let's pull it up. That's
That's
interesting.
I wanted to bring it back to this because I think
Okay,
it's
that's
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm not mad at this. I want to
good,
know
Frankie?
the real too. French Montana
I
Buscemi.
will.
There's a YouTube
It's
video.
gonna be awesome.
Oh, okay, here we go.
You know, we over here putting these plans together for that MC4. You know, shout out to my new partners. You know, let me introduce you to him. Mr. Buscemi himself. Nice to meet you. Do yourself the biggest favor. The biggest. that you ever. The first, the one-on-one. I thought Yeezy was the only one gonna bring us the one-on-one.
He's high.
You never seen it, don't lie to yourself. I'm gonna give a shout to Buscemi, you know what I'm saying? Being the first artist to ever get a deal, you know, such a magnificent, the biggest shoes in the industry, you know what I'm saying? I just wanna, you know, say thank you for making me a new partner. You know what I'm saying? These are the first take.
But I pretty much wear exclusively Android Homme.
Right. So a new business venture, but I wonder if
June 13th. What did that say?
yeah, June 13, 2016.
And you know what's funny? I remember seeing pictures of them during that time, because it must have been here in LA. But then, as we all know, sometimes we don't know what the
Sometimes things don't happen or get pushed off or they get moved on the calendar.
yeah, or it goes to the lawyers,
Right, and they're like, we
Right.
can't do this.
Yep.
and then something
on
happens.
the back end, it just kind of
you
falls
never
by
know.
the wayside.
You never
Yeah.
know. But I do agree with you, John. I think if that deal would have went through, the way that they're talking, because that's real. That's both of them right there.
Yeah, they're both there.
There's
no,
it
like-
ain't like a tweet,
there's no check the
drunk
internet.
tweet, you know?
Yeah, that is.
That
I'm
is
gonna get him
from
to do this
French's
deal. Watch
Facebook.
this.
Yeah.
I've never seen that video. So that literally says we're partners. There's a
Right.
deal. I'm the first artist with this kind of deal. So I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah. It's hard to say what happened on, like you said, with the lawyers on the backside,
Yeah.
or what may have, or he could just be a silent partner in the brand now, and
Which I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
You know, because that's another side of the business too. Is like the more and more that you meet richer and richer people, the more businesses they have, where you don't know what they're.
Yeah.
You don't even know how much money they have, or how many businesses, or how much stake, or interest they have in so many companies.
Right.
They're just kicking back.
And then us
Like
on the
the
ground
kickback.
level, the kickback. Us on the ground level, we can't even fathom the type of business ventures that are happening because we're not in those rooms.
I'm just
you know?
saying that was a big announcement, and then crickets.
No, yeah. No, that's good that you actually brought that. You know, brought that up though. 'cause-
Something.
No, I'm not giving. I'm not like
something-
talking shit at all.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
of
saying,
course,
like
yeah.
to me,
That's
like
a
I
testament
remember
to-
when it happened, and I was
Yeah.
like, it just seemed odd to me that like that popped up, and then
Yeah.
I just kept seeing,
Interesting.
you know.
Yeah, no, that's
Android.
definitely it's a valid point, man. Because like I was gonna say, it's a testament to the brand and the relationship that you guys have, where he announces a huge deal like this, sitting at dinner with the man himself, and he's still rocking Android, like the Android Homme. That's just, I don't know. That's
I just
gotta
hope
be
everyone's
love.
making money. That's all I'm caring
they
about.
making
I
buku
think
bucks.
I think they're all. I think I hope French is making money and John's making money and you keep making money, and that's it, man. It's like when it
Yeah,
comes
that's
to
amazing.
Yeah.
that, because that's cool, man. If they really do have something going on, like everybody's in the.
That'd be
shooting,
amazing.
man.
Like if that still happened, it's still silent, you know, because like even when like you look at Swizz and Reebok,
Right.
So Swizz being really a big part of Reebok, you know, I know he was really like close to the brand. He was promoting it. I think he had his own shoe on it.
Yep.
But then he wears
He was like
Androids.
creative director or something, I think.
Yeah, but he wears Androids. You know, so depending on
And Bally's. He
and
wears a
Bally.
lot of
Yeah,
Bally's.
He's the
Bally
king of
thing.
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's the CEO of everyone.
Yeah. Lotus.
Yeah. It's incredible. He's actually one of the people that most inspire me. Like, you know, I think for me, like he's one of the most inspirational people I know. Like the way he maneuvers and he thinks and he gets down, but he stays very creative. Is super cool. But he was another one. So like
Right.
you got the deal. You're at the Reebok offices, but you're wearing Androids. So you know,
Man.
it all depends on your contracts.
Yeah.
Like you can be a partner, you could be a creative director, but if you don't have an exclusive,
Exactly. And they may even see Android as like a premier brand or something that they're not really in competition with.
Correct.
So then you're still allowed to wear that because that's not a direct competitor with
Correct.
you know, something
Swizz
like
Beatz is
that.
the man.
the man,
Oh,
He
yeah.
really is
the
man.
monster.
The man.
Swizz Beatz, the monster.
I have a good Swizz Beatz story. This is not sneaker related,
Okay.
but it's a. When you say that he's somebody that inspires you,
Yeah.
he really was that for me for
Okay.
a long time. And I remember this goes back probably almost 10 years. But he tweeted something like, "Oh, who should we have direct the new Jadakiss video or whatever? It should be a old head or a young buck or something like that." And then like so I woke up and I had like all these people like you know adding me in all these tweets to Swizz, you know, like just like this saying that it should be me. And so then I saw this and I was like, of course I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna reach out like me, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go public with it, but it like rang the bell for me, like, oh, I should try and like
Hit him up.
get in there somehow.
Yeah.
I had met him one time, but it was like my boy was bodyguard for him in Arizona, and shout out to Big T, and and I just rode with him one day, and I met him like one time kind of briefly, and this was like real early on. I think I was still in school, like, and so I kind of hit up everybody that I knew to try and angle in to get Swizz on the phone that
Yeah.
day. Like the day that
Right.
happened, I went bonkers and like just everybody I could think of, and I could not get through to him. And so I was just like, well, this is it. And then like later that night, I'm in the airport in Phoenix. I'm heading to New York, and I'm fighting with like my ex-girlfriend on the phone. So I go to like the farthest corner of the terminal so I could yell. So I go, I do my thing, like I'm way deep, and I hang up, and I'm sitting there just on my computer in one of those like 4-seat, like little airport fucking benches or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, it's like me and my bag and 2 empty seats, and I'm like doing my shit. And then all of a sudden I hear like a psst, and I look over and it's fucking Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys.
No way.
And I'm like, yo, like that day that I went bonkers and could not get a hold of this dude. And
No
now
way.
He's sitting next to
Wow.
me in the airport with Alicia Keys, and they are in the far end.
And
of the,
they gave you a
listen up because he remembered me from fucking forever ago, and Alicia Keys, they went to the farthest end of the terminal because they weren't like public yet. So she's wearing this like big floppy hat and this whole shit. So like they're like trying to avoid people, and I'm trying to avoid people, but for different reasons. And they end up sitting right next to me, and I have my computer out, and they're gonna be on the same flight as me, and we have like 50 minutes, so they're fucked. And I just sit there and like play the videos for almost an hour. And like, and it was so ill. And then like, we were like instantly like spirit animal, like it was just amazing. So like right then and there, he was like, take my info, whatever. Like we take the flight and land in New York.
Here's a pair of Bally's.
The minute we land, he's hitting me up. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So it was like, and through like mad politics with Def Jam, like that did not happen. The video didn't happen for me. But like our relationship stood, and that whole thing, like.
That is a crazy story.
But it was just like I felt like I manifested the man. I was just like definitely. I thought this motherfucker into existence next to me.
How about the? I looked over. It was Swizz Beatz.
I'm just like, like, how does this?
That is
how does
crazy.
That happen?
Damn.
Wow.
Only
That's a dope
you,
story.
dog.
Yeah.
That's some shit that only happens to John.
God damn.
We need more of those back sound effects.
I need more of that.
Yeah. We need to make this shit like
Showtime!
we need to make this like Hot 97.
Yeah, man.
Like, we need to drop bombs, we need horns. We might turn this to like Bobby Condors and Java, like just get real. Yeah.
No, man, that's crazy. I never would have imagined the story taking that turn.
Dude, it went
All from a. all from you going to the far ends of the terminal to yell at your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. that was a moment though.
Damn.
That was some crazy shit.
That's dope.
But he's that dude. Like he is.
Yeah.
He
is absolutely
He
incredible.
like radiates inspiration for everyone. Like just you want what he has in a way, and not like the material shit. Just like he's this like father and husband and just fucking creator and protector of culture and just all this shit. It's just like he's a superhero.
And now he's vegan.
Yeah.
And that was what?
Really?
Now he's vegan.
Yeah, he's vegan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just joined vegan. Oh, yeah.
He just joined vegan.
He just joined vegan.
Cheers to veganhood. Cheers for all you out there.
Man, what's up with your health game though? I know I was listening to Drama's podcast, Short Story Long.
Okay, yeah.
And doing a little research, but actually just listening as a fan. I know, I guess it was before Android really kicked off, like you were kind of going through some tough times, and you even mentioned when we were doing Revolver, you were doing the yoga with Russell Simmons and all that. What's up? What's up with you and just outside of the sneaker game, how is Steve? Like, what's going on?
Amazing. I think that for me right now, I'm probably the most dialed into
Beautiful.
Self, and I'm turning 40 on Halloween. So where I'm at in my life is just really, health is really important.
Yeah.
Because I know that I want to live an incredible life, and I want to live as long as I can.
Right.
And I want to enjoy it. So health comes first for me, and health more. A lot of people focus on outside.
Yeah.
I'm really focusing on inside, and do that through meditation, do it through exercise, do it through eating healthy, by being conscious of what I put inside my body, whether that's information for my mind or also food. So it's not just, everything is not just physical and food. And when I was at DC Shoes years and years ago with John Buscemi, which we ran the lifestyle division of the program, I was the global director of all lifestyle. And I was just eating really unhealthy because I was traveling, and I would always make an excuse, by eating on the go. And splurging and balling out too.
Yeah.
So when you
I
do
heard
that,
the stories about the checks you were
balling.
pulling in.
I was 260 pounds. Wow. I wore a size. I remember wearing 40. What was a 40 to 42 waist. I was XXX. Wow. I was wearing XXX in urban clothes. I was like a XXX at academics, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Johnny's had a flashback. When your velour is 3X, that shit is big, man.
Man.
It's a lot of body in there.
It is. I was wearing that, but not for the same reasons. Just because I was on trend at the moment.
Yeah. But when you're my height,
Yeah, exactly.
The proportions on garments don't work.
Right.
When your leg trunks are like that, because you're supposed to be a 6'9", you know,
I feel this.
back, like it doesn't work. You know, when you're designing and you're doing marking and grading,
Yeah.
the waist or the leg. So basically, like the thigh was at my ankle, and the shit is it's crazy.
I feel like I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, man. So
man.
California saved my life, man.
Yeah.
I love, you know, I'm a New Yorker, but I love California. I love the holistic and spiritual approach to being in California, the West Side.
Yeah.
Really taking care of yourself, you know, being a thinker.
Right.
So that's a big part of where I'm at right now. Everything in my mind is about being smarter.
Yep.
Smarter.
Elevating
and
on
then
all levels.
From personally, where I'm at is legacy, is leaving legacy. You know, from 40 to 50 now that I have a child, now that I've accomplished so much, is like, okay, I know that nothing is promised, and I could, you know, take a wrong turn tomorrow or today after this and not be here. And a big part of that, and I've said on the podcast, is that 3 of my business partners died in their, you know, 30s. So for 3 of them to go, it's changed my life, it changed my perspective, it changed the way I am. So right now I'm living to my
As you
fullest,
should.
you know, that I can. And it's really about like, how do I do this? So a big part of the podcast, me being more front end is because I want to tell my story.
Of course.
I want to inspire. I want to do what Swizz does so great. Like he said, he protects the culture. I want to protect, I want to nurture, I want to educate. And if there's any part of my story or my brand or my people or just my personality that I can help one person, I've already made it. You know, so I'm just magnifying that.
Yeah, man, that's
You're
beautiful.
a fucking dripping authenticity. I hate it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's
the man,
amazing.
Steve.
What's
Thank
some
you.
future plans for the brand, man? What do you guys have in store?
Future plans for the brand is definitely more categories. So right now we're in footwear, expanding into ladies' footwear. We see that as a huge opportunity for us.
Most definitely.
Apparel we've done in the past. We're looking to expand back into apparel as well. Now that footwear is getting set up, opening up more stores. So we have a store in Shanghai in China. We're looking at now Dubai. Javier's actually right now in Italy, on his way to Portugal, then Dubai, then Egypt. So we're just literally like looking at the globe, looking at opportunities to expand because we're an independent, you know, we're still a small brand. So there's just so much room for growth for us. And then really the big play for us is tech. We are Android Homme, and really creating tech incorporated into our footwear.
Wow.
You know, Javier comes from Silicon Valley. That's where he was raised and born. So that's always been innately a part of him. Android Homme clearly is a progressive name and a future. You know, we're futuristic.
Exactly, futuristic.
It's where the world is going. So you're going to see a lot of things coming up from us in that area of the business. We got collabs that we're working on. We got some stuff that we can't talk about, like as always.
As always. Yeah.
And we're just really starting to have fun, you know, and we're starting to talk shit, you know, and be like, yo, and feel good about it too.
Yeah, you gotta poke your chest out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, let them know what it is.
In like a cool way too.
Right.
You know, not in that arrogant asshole way, kind of like in a Drake way, you know. It's like, yeah, all right, cool.
We know we the shit.
Without all the crying.
Way.
Sometimes you gotta shed a tear or two, man. You gotta let it out, you know. No disrespect.
Oh, man.
Nah,
but I'm
that's
so
dope,
happy, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
allow
thank
me
you
to
so
be a
much
part
for
of this
coming
platform.
You're the
Dude,
man.
so happy to have you here.
Yeah, seriously, we're still trying to get, you know, lube up all the gears and get everything going, but it's definitely a blessing for you to come grace us with your presence and just sit back, shoot the shit. You know, we had some topics that we were going to discuss, but I really just wanted to let you have your platform and talk to us about what's going on, and again, just inform, you know, inform us and the people on your brand, because a lot of the podcasts you've done that I've listened to personally, it's telling your story, and I feel that's very important, you know, and I think that you've done a great job of telling that story. Now it's time to kind of put some light on the brand and let people know what that is and how it's going and where it's going and all that. So
And
it's
I
just,
also like putting a face to to name, because there's a lot of people you wouldn't think, like if you saw me in the street, you probably wouldn't think that guy right there has traveled the whole world, done multiple $1 million deals, sells in the most prestigious stores in the world. You might just think I'm just a young Latino walking in the street, going into like an Amazon Prime supermarket, you know?
Trying to get some free
Trying
shit.
to get some plantains or something.
Exactly. You know, or some jalapenos. Definitely some tacos if you saw me, right? So, but you wouldn't know that.
Right.
And that perspective, I just love that. I just love to be able to tell that survival story, that entrepreneurship story, and inspire the world.
Yeah,
you know?
man, it's dope that you're doing that on a social media level too, not just sharing your wins, but showing people the process. I think that's where a lot of minds get clouded, is they want it to be right now. But right now takes 10,000 hours prior to that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And people need to see the grind and the growth and progression and the pitfalls and the things that come with having a brand, having a newborn, being a husband, being a business partner. Like, all those stories need to be told individually, and I'm really, happy to hear that you are taking the time to do that on your own and just shed light on, the things that really need to be seen. Pull back the curtains a little bit and express that from an entrepreneurial standpoint. So many blessings to you, man.
Yeah.
Many blessings. Congratulations on the newborn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for stopping by, man.
Grayson,
Grayson. Hey.
This is the Kickback, episode 3, Sneaker Steve. Ouch!
Yeah.
So,
man, I'm glad we get to have these conversations.
Oh, this is amazing. I love the
Man.
kickback.
Yeah,
It's always
knowledge,
inspiring.
too. No one knows.
It's always
Yeah,
inspiring.
the kickback is amazing.
Every time we kick it, it's